I was the first person in my family to go to college. I knew I wanted to be a scientist when I was in college. I spent a fair amount of time in the laboratory. I had a wonderful professor of physiology in my college curriculum, and it inspired me to pursue a Ph.D. in medical physiology, and that's what brought me here. My family has a history of cardiovascular disease that attracted me to the study of diseases of the heart.
When he was a graduate student, his father went into congestive heart failure and died. And I think that loss hit Steve really, really hard and really pushed him to try to better understand the disease that killed his father.
We've made tremendous impact over the last 40 years, but we haven't done all we can do.
He has been one of the most outstanding investigators dealing with cardiac issues and cardiac metabolism for many, many years now. But his influence here really has been also as a mentor.
He's what we call in the basic science field, he's a mentor's mentor. So no matter how successful I've been and others like me in the field, we go to Steve for advice and mentorship, and that's continued for almost 2 decades now.
One of his strengths is his ability to reach out to other people, both to seek help and to give help. If you look back to his earliest graduate students, most of them still keep in touch with him. The AHA was the first grant I think he ever received. So he was trying to get established as a scientist, and funding agencies were turning him down, and the American Heart Association funded him. One thing about Steve is he's incredibly loyal, and he really understands when people help him, and he wants to give back. And so I think the fact that the AHA was so good to him at such an early and critical point of his career started him in that process.
As I learned more and more about AHA, I realized it's more than just a place for scientists to get funding for their work. It really is a patient-serving organization. Part of that is through research, but part of it is through education and all those other programs that the AHA is developing.
He got me involved in the American Heart Association.
He's unique in being one of the few, if not the only, Ph.D. who's been the president of the National American Heart Association. He has a sense for really the entire spectrum of the work that the association does. So he very much appreciates the clinical piece as well as the research piece.
I think he's motivated to have a positive impact on the world. His work with the American Heart Association has been 30 years, and his driving force there was to help make scientific inroads into better understanding heart disease and hopefully finding a way to fix broken hearts, if you will.
To really reach out and improve health, we need to get into the community. So I foresee that AHA will have major impact by working with church groups, other local types of organizations, where we can best figure out how to help folks in their local communities improve their own health. I think that's a much more effective mechanism than waiting for people to come to the health system when they're having a medical problem. If we get out and do that and get community groups to be the leaders, they can have longer, healthier, happier lives.